this pandemic pause was 2.5 years. We just started
The
paying.
longest 2.5 years of my life.
So talk about that because I would imagine that as in your profession of teaching people about the importance of student loans, there are some people where you might have suggested, hey, there's no interest on the loan right now. This might be a good time to pay it back.
Yeah.
What was that 2.5 period like for you in your business?
Oh, well, I remember when I got the news. I saw it on TV, and I had to sit down for this one. I said, no, hold on, put my glasses on because I couldn't understand what was coming up on the screen. No student loan payments until, it was like March. I think I called her first. It was like, shout out to Denise. So I was like, girl, is this like a 30-day thing? What you think? Like 60 days? Because every business owner knows what's in their cushion account. Like, if I had to float my employees and all of that. But when they did that second extension for the year, I said, oh, so now what I did was, and honestly, I made a lot of money in the pandemic pause because I'm a creative. So I said, okay, you don't have a payment. You're going to learn about your loans. You're going to fix other things. So I had put out a student loan ebook. Now, that's kind of radical for people to buy a student loan ebook. Let's just think about that for a second. Who wants to buy an ebook around student loans? But what I did was I said, meet me at 9 p.m. And I probably am one of the most consistent people on Instagram. I teach every day more than most people. I'm going to either teach you at 10 a.m., 9 p.m., or 11 p.m. Sometimes I do 2 shows a day. So what I was doing was I was building a community, and we would have fun. We started doing, we would do student loan information first. I start off like I'm a reporter. Then my next personality came on. That's me. I would put some glasses on, some Gucci glasses, and I would turn to Susan. I mean, it was just really fun times. But here's what happened. It made people actually care about their loans and their credit. And then sometimes we would do Instagram speed dating. And I said, in order to join in, remember how you do the lives with the different people? You had to have a 740 credit score or better. I mean, it was really good times. Now you're like, well, how did you make money? So what happened was in that time period, I think it's because I was very like hands-on. I'm a teacher at heart, that used to teach as a college professor. I would say, meet me at 9:00, bonnet friendly on Zoom, and we would log into our student loans together. We would look at your credit report. I'm like, did you see this? You should do this. So it was just a lot of teaching happening. But I had to shift my mentality as a business owner because here's what was not going to happen. I wasn't going to close my business because of something that I perceived to be as temporary. Now, when we went into the next year, I was like, oh, now we don't know when these loans are coming back. That's when I think, I'm not going to lie, I think I did get a little nervous, but I also was very wise with the money I had made. So when I made money off of digital products, and I think I was one of the earlier people doing digital products before everybody started doing it. Shout out to my friend Nehemiah. He called me, like, blew up my phone. You got to have good friends that blow up your phone. And he just said to me, he was like, you need a digital product out of everybody. So when it came out, it did really well. I grabbed a couple properties and I brought them in cash. And what I did was I renovated them and I did the Airbnb wave. Now we know Airbnb is or isn't what it is now. At the time, people were looking for places to have like a little escape during the pandemic. So me personally, I had to step out of the shell of the student loan doctor so that things could be sustainable. And I wanted to make sure, like, my team has been with me for over 5 years at this point. I didn't want to let anybody go. I don't want to go look for good people again. So if I need to send some floating money, we call it, or just appreciate you money, I needed to be able to generate that otherwise. Because the student loan doctor business itself wasn't doing great in the last, let's say, year and a half. But my endeavors were doing good.
So when you see October 1st, 2023...
this is bad to say this, but I was so excited when it was firm, when they were payment. That is so bad. I'm sorry, y'all. Like, when I tell you.
You back in the game.
I was like, wait a minute. And you know what? I actually missed our clients and they missed us. So we are like probably 3 weeks booked out at this point, which is a good average. We don't want to be that far booked out. Shout out to my amazing team. I'm like, because, they work part-time. Most of them work part-time. Some work full-time. The ones that work part-time, I'm like, do you got PTO at your full-time to handle this calendar of calls? So it's been really good to be so received back. I've even started a training program where I've been training other experts because the reality is this is a $1 trillion problem. And I don't envision myself running a call center of staff. I don't want that. not my sweet spot. Everybody knows what their sweet spot is. I'm a creative, but I don't want to be a manager in that sense.
Let me ask you this, on the student loan side, what's the on-ramp program?
So we talked about the on-ramp program is the one that everybody is technically in, whether you ask to be in it or not. You don't got to call for this, guys. If you was just to say next month, I can't afford this payment, I'm trying to figure out how now to do. You don't have to call them and tell them. The payment just will add up. Now, some people can go into forbearance if you want to, that you're not getting behind, but you're not going to be penalized.